Academy Marketing Plan. Let's go! Hello everyone, my name is JooYoungPak and I am here today to talk to you about Academy's marketing plan and its vision. Are you guys ready? All right, let's get started. So when I was younger, my parents moved to the States 35 years ago, and as I was younger, I had to translate a lot of things for them because they were not able to speak English very well. So what happened was they started their own businesses and I became very involved in it, and that started to change the way that I thought. I wanted to become a CEO, I wanted to run my own business, and I was always looking for different opportunities to help my parents, whatever it was in that area, right? So I started researching and I started reading books, and I started understanding that there are different types of businesses I can be a part of. For example, here it says sales, right? What does that mean? That means that I can get an item from somebody and sell it to someone. And I looked into this kind of business because I didn't have that much money to start, but I always wanted to work for myself. I didn't really feel comfortable working for anybody else. I wanted to try to build my own business, my own dream. Well, as I was doing this and as I was starting to look more into direct selling or making commission off of sales that I made, I started running into different problems. For example, I only had maybe 10 hours a day that I can work, or 8 hours a day that I can work, where I can meet people to sell them an item. But as time went by, I started hitting a ceiling. So even if I can have 12 hours a day, you can't really make any more, right? Everybody's sleeping or doing their own thing. So if I can only sell 10 items a day, then that was the ceiling cap that I had for my paycheck. So I started looking at other avenues, where do other people make business? What kinds of businesses do other people make? And what are they? So I looked at other business owners. And if you think about residual income, that's what my goal was. I wanted to make residual income. Then you have to look at bigger businesses. So I looked at what my parents were doing, and they had a business, and what they did was when that one did well, they opened up another store and then another store. So it turned into a chain of businesses, maybe a chain of restaurants or a chain of shoe stores or whatever it may be. And that's what I wanted to be a part of. Why? I didn't want to be the only one responsible for making that paycheck. I wanted to be able to help other people, and other people's efforts also help me. So for example, if I had a store in a regular mom and pop shop, what happens? You can go to work at maybe 7 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, but then who has to close the store? It's you. You have to close the store. And I started looking into different businesses and how they were able to create chains, to create franchises. And it struck me, you have to have a product that can change consumer habit. And that's just something that I wasn't able to find. So even though I was able to find the answer to what I wanted to do, I first didn't have the money to do it, and I couldn't find the product to do that with. So I put all that aside and I just started helping my parents and living my normal life, went to university, and then when I graduated, I moved to Korea. I went to Korea, but always in the back of my mind, I wanted to start my own business. So I was always looking for different opportunities. I always wanted to try to start whatever I could from the very bottom. So as I started looking, I really wasn't able to find anything. But when I was in Korea, I met my wife and we got married, and she told me that she needed something called a deep cleanser. Now, I wasn't very familiar with what that was, so I asked her, what is a deep cleanser? And she told me, well, it's used to remove makeup, especially her eyeliner and mascara and things like that. So I said, okay, do the research that you need to do and tell me what kind of product that you want to buy. So she did her research, asked her friends, and then we went to the department store. And we went to the department store, she picked out whatever product that she wanted, and she told me that it was $100. Well, at first I said, wow, $100, that's pretty expensive. But when we looked around, it wasn't, there were other products that were cheaper, but she was saying that this was of high quality and it worked better than other products. So we purchased the product, went home, and she started using it. And a few weeks later, we had to stay the night at my in-laws. But when we went over there, my wife forgot to bring what? She forgot to bring her $100 deep cleanser. So she had to use whatever was available at the house. So we looked, she came out of the bathroom, and I looked at her face and I said, wow, Nari, your eyes aren't red. And that was a funny comment, right? Because she was using a $100 product, but every time she came out of the bathroom after removing her eyeliner and her mascara, her eyes turned red because she had to rub really hard to get everything out, she said. So I asked her, is this better than what you're using at home? And she said, yeah, it works even better than what I have at home. And light bulbs started going off in my head, and I said, wow, really? Okay. Well, how much is it? Do you know how much it is? And she said she didn't know how much it was, so I asked my mother-in-law, how much is this? And she told me it was $9. Now, at the time, I didn't know what this was, so I asked her, and she said, this is Atomy Deep Cleanser, and you can buy it online, and if you buy in bulk, if you buy 4 at a time, it's $9 per item. So I said, wow, that's awesome, that's great. And I asked my wife, next time, would you be willing to buy this, or would you want to buy what you bought previously? And she told me, no, I don't want to buy what I bought, but I'd rather use this because it works even better. So I thought to myself, wow, okay, what's Atomy? And my mother-in-law started telling me Atomy was a network marketing company and that anybody can register and so on and so forth. And I started thinking in my head, network marketing company, business, item, everything started coming together. Like I stated before, I didn't start a business, or I couldn't start a business because I couldn't find the product that I wanted to do the business, or it costs too much to invest to start a business. Well, what did she say? She told me that it was free to register. So here's Atomy, right? And what's the difference between Atomy and all these different business models that I saw? Well, in regular business, you have to first, for example, if you're going to do direct sales, what do you have to do? You have to buy products, and then with the products, you have to sell it to somebody, and when you sell it to somebody, you then make a profit, right? So you have to hold on to products. Or if you're doing a regular business, you have to invest in storefront. You have to invest in property, you have to invest in interior design, and then put products out for somebody to buy. Well, in this business, it's the same model, right? When you start a business, you get an item from the manufacturer, and then you get it, and you make lots of consumers. That's the goal. So when people do business, they try to buy at the cheapest price possible, and then what do? You try to sell it at the highest price possible and make that difference. But when I saw Atomy, that's not what Atomy was about. A lot of network marketing companies, whenever you want to register, there's a registration fee, or there is a monthly fee to maintain your business, whether it's a website maintenance fee or whatever it may be. But in Atomy, they didn't have any of that. They didn't have any requirements of a starter kit. They didn't require you to buy monthly PV. They didn't do anything. But at the same time, they provided us with an item that we would continue to buy. So I knew this is exactly what I wanted to do, and I started looking more and more into it. And the more I started looking into it, the more I started getting sucked into the company, because I started looking at who was producing the products, right? So it's very important where you're getting the products from. But Atomy was getting products from Komar Korea and Kerry. They came together and they created a new company called Komar B&H. And Komar B&H, what were they doing? They were manufacturing very high quality products, but for a very low price. And Atomy was responsible for distributing these products, but not only those. Atomy had the right to distribute whatever products that they wanted to do that was already in the market. So I thought to myself, wow, this is great. If you start a business, let's say that you want to do a restaurant. Well, that's all you have. You have a restaurant, right? Or if you want to sell shoes, all you're doing is selling shoes. But in this case, I was able to become what? A supermarket. I was able to sell goods that everybody could buy, but it was at what? Absolute price and absolute quality. And that's exactly what I wanted. Because I knew if you wanted to create residual income, you weren't able to do that by trying to persuade individual A, persuade individual B, but rather if we could present them with information saying, hey, listen, what are you using? What kind of products do you currently use? What you're using is not as cheap as what I have to offer. Do you want to try it? This is how conversation starts, and this is how people start changing the way that they consume things. So in this system, everybody is a consumer. Atomy is not about who is doing the business and who is consuming, but rather everybody is consuming a product that they feel is of high quality and low price. So that's why this works. Everybody can become successful because there are these things in place. And where is this going? Atomy is going global. That means that they have one server, okay? One server. What does that mean for the average Joe? That means that if they went to university and they befriended an exchange student, and this exchange student decided that he wanted to look into Atomy and become a member. Well, I'm from Korea, right? But this friend is from the US. And he also registers a friend who's from, let's say, Japan. But in Atomy, you don't have to register within different countries to start the business. Everything is in this one line. So even though this person's in Japan, whenever they buy a product from Japan, it still goes up all the way to you. So this is what I mean. You don't have to, you only know 10 people, you only know 30 people. It doesn't matter because it'll continue to grow and grow. So I stated that the lineage goes all the way down and you start getting paid by PV. Well, let's talk about PV and what it is, okay? Point value, that's what it stands for. And this is how you get points to accumulate. So you purchase a product, okay? And that product has PV that follows with it. Okay, so let's look at the main products. Atomy has Hemohim and it has the skincare product. So if you buy one, the price is higher and the PV is 100K. If you buy two, the price goes down all the way to the fourth one. So what does that mean? It's just like buying in bulk, right? We go to Sam's or we go to Costco and we save money by buying in bulk. That's the same concept here. If you buy 4 at a time, your price goes down and you still get the PV that Atomy has to offer. And Atomy has a left leg and a right leg, but you get paid on the smallest leg, okay? So we have personal PV, and then we have group PV, and I'll explain to you what the points are and how much you can get paid. So if you have personally consumed 300K worth of products, that's maybe one Hemoim, you bought one Hemoim, that's 100K, so you already have 100K, and you bought a 6-set system for your wife, another 200, and other items here and there. You're already at 300K, so now you have the opportunity to get paid. So you register somebody on your left leg and on your right leg, and when 300K, 300,000 PV accumulates on your left and right leg, then now you get 15 points. Each point is multiplied by about $5, so you get how much? About $75, give it or take. And that keeps going on all the way until your personal PV builds to 2.4 million PV. Now, since you have consumers consuming on your left and right leg, and let's say that every day now you are making 300K on your left, 300K on your right. Well, if you think about it, it's not going to stay at 300K, right? Other people in the system are going to continue to buy whatever they were using, and they're going to be telling other people about it. So what happens? Your 300K turns into 700K. 700K turns into 1.5 million, and so on. And it'll continue to grow. And when it reaches, what did I say? 50 million, it stops. What I mean by that, your points will continue to accumulate, but your payout will stop at about $1,500 every day, okay? But let's look at the personal PV. The personal PV stops at 2.4 million, but your group PV continues to go until 50 million. Now, let's think about this. I'm at 2.4 million PV, okay? Now, I told you that Atomy does not require you to buy a product every single month. They don't care. But in a lot of different network marketing companies, what happens is, let's say that you bought 300K worth of items in January. Well, in February, what do you have to do? This goes away and you start from zero and you have to buy the 300K again to qualify to get the commission from your group PV. But in Atomy, that is not the case. It accumulates for a lifetime, and it continues to accumulate until well, forever. But when you reach 2.4 million, you don't have to purchase for yourself anymore. So let's think about this. You now have a system where you're making 50 million PV every single day. You're personally at 2.4 million, and you're not required to buy anything this month. You're only required to buy one item a year. It doesn't matter the price. So the cheapest thing that you buy, it won't matter, but you'll still get paid how much every day? $1,500 every single day. Now, I've never been able to find a business where you can make residual income without reinvesting something. But Atomy has made a system where you can continue to make residual income when you develop that system. Now, I think that's amazing. I think that's phenomenal, right? So I got very, very excited when I started to understand the compensation plan. But it doesn't end here. If you look at lots of other companies, the top 1% takes home a lot of the money. But in Atomy, what did we say? Everybody meets at the top. What does that mean, everybody meets at the top? That means that everybody will run into the ceiling, right? The income ceiling. So in this PowerPoint, you can see that everybody has the possibility to make $75 a day all the way to $1,500 a day, give it or take, right? Then what happens? It can take you 2 years to do this, or it can take you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. It can take almost 10 years. We don't know. But what we do know for sure is that since your group PV accumulates, and since it's a global system, when the time comes, you will all meet at the top. So this is what I tell my partners. I tell my partners, listen, everybody graduates university in 4 years. But let's say that you failed a lot of your classes, but you continue to go to class, right? You continue to do the work that they assign you. Well, maybe it'll take you 5 years to graduate or 6 years to graduate, but it's inevitable that you will graduate. That's the same thing. Now, for people who are doing the business, their first goal is to get to a mastership. But I'll talk to you about that after I review this a little bit, okay? So let's remember what PV was, and let's remember how it accumulates. All right, so this is you. You have a left leg and you have a right leg. On your left leg, you just accumulated 100K. That means you registered somebody and they just bought 100K worth of products. Another person 100K and another person 300K. Now you have 500K accumulated on your left. But if you want to get paid, what happens? You have to have 2 legs, and both legs have to be at least 300K. So this person was using the product, letting people know about the product, and then he said, I think I want to try to do this as a business. I think I want to see if I can make a few dollars here. So he registers somebody on his right leg, and this person also purchases 100K worth of products, and then 200K worth of products. Now where are we? Your left leg is at 500K, your right leg is at 300K, so now you have 300, 300, so therefore you will get paid how much? 15 points, which equates to about $75. So now he registers another person. Maybe the 300K guy registered the USA person. It doesn't matter. Atomy doesn't ask who registered who, but who is in the system and where are the points coming from. That's all they want to know. So 50, 50, 200, that equals how much? 300K. On the left, and on the right, 2, and then 100. So now you're at another 300 and 300. So you get paid about $75 again. But now, person A wants to start the business himself as well. He says, well, I've tried the product. I'm at 300K. I think I want to let other people know about these products. So they register somebody from Japan, and then they register another person, and now their left leg is at how many points? 300K, and their right leg is at how many PV? At 300,000 PV. So now A also gets paid 15 points. And I register another person, and this person registers another person and another person. Now I just accumulated 300 on my left, but now I have another 300 on my right. But B also had 300 on his right. So now we are both getting paid. But I got 15 points and this person only got 5 points. Why? Because they were not at 300K yet. So now let's talk about the mastership. In Atomy, there are 7 masterships, but the first mastership gets half of the PV, okay, the total PV. So what does that mean? That means that the first mastership gets half, so that means that they get a lot of the money. But in a lot of network marketing companies, this is considered leadership bonus, right? So since you're in the very beginning stages of the business, they usually don't pay you a large chunk of the pie, but here they give you half, and then the other 6 masterships have to share the rest. So let's talk about how do you become a auto sales master. Well, in Atomy, in order to become an auto sales master, from the 1st to the 15th or from the 16th to the end of the month, your left leg and right leg has to accumulate a total of 2.5 million PV on your left and on your right leg. Once you have accomplished that, you are now considered a auto sales master if that continues automatically, right? So let's look at the graph and how people achieve this. This little dot here, every dot is a month, let's just say. So after 9 months, this person becomes a auto sales master. So now they're making about $2,000 a month. But it takes a long time to get to this point. So let's think about it. If it takes you 9 months to make $2,000 a month, a lot of people will think, well, that's not a lot of money. I don't want to invest that kind of time and energy into something that's not going to be paying me that much. Well, it's very, very different because this is considered what? Residual income. But that's not the only thing. Once you become a auto sales master, it starts to double. So what does it say here? It starts to compound. Your growth starts to compound. It's no longer going linear like that, but it starts to skyrocket. But at the same time, there is a ceiling. So everybody, your P keeps going up, but what happens to your pay? It starts to stop at around $50,000 a month, okay? Give it or take. But everybody can get to that point. Now, let's review again about the masterships. I stated that from the 1st to the 15th and from the 16th to the end of the month, you have to accumulate a total of 2.5 million PV on your left leg and on your right leg. And once you do that, you become what? A sales master. But the other 6 masterships do not have to do anything with PV, but rather, who are you helping in your group? Okay? If this is a company where they want you to work together, then this is why they created it like this. If you have other members in your left leg and your right leg who then become sales masters, then you become a diamond master. So it's not with PV anymore, it's with other masterships, okay? So in order to become a Sharon Rose master, you have to have 2 diamond masters on your left leg and on your right leg. And this continues all the way until we get to the imperial master. Now let's think about this. You are now a imperial master. So that means that you have 2 crown masters on your left leg and you have 2 crown masters on your right leg. But how much are you making? You're making about $50,000 a month. But what kind of money is this? This is residual income, okay? Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys understand what that means. That means that if you're sick one day and you get laid off, but you've become an imperial master, you still have money coming in, right? And let's think about it like this. Let's say that you can't work anymore, or you want to go on vacation, you want to tour the world. You are not responsible to make money anymore. Money has already been made with the Atomy system, and it just continues to go into your account, and all you have to do is what? Buy 1 product a year to maintain your position in the business. That's it. And the price of the product doesn't even matter. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my process, how I got to where I am today, and I want to encourage you guys that you can do the same thing, okay? So let's look at this. In 2013, I got my first general commission, okay? And you can see that it took me how long? It took me about a month to get $70.76. Now, a lot of people start saying, it took you a whole month? Yes, it took me a month. And I'm not talking about I just did Atomy 2 hours here and there. No, that wasn't the case. I was doing Atomy 10 hours a day. I was telling everybody about it. But how much was I making? I was only making $70 a month. But once I got that commission, I knew right away that this would continue to grow. This would snowball. Why would this snowball? Just like any good product or movie, word of mouth. If you watch a movie that's really exciting, what do? You recommend it to friends. That's what was happening here. I sold it. I let lots of people know about the company and I sold them this product, but they started buying it again. So what does that mean? In March, it took me 15 days now to get paid the $70. 15 days and 15 days. So in April, again, I got paid twice. In May, I got paid once. And in June, I didn't get paid at all. Now, why did this happen? I started to run out of people to tell because all I was doing was selling the skin products. I didn't sell any other products because I didn't know any better. But I started telling all these people. But even when that was the case, let's look at September. What happens in September? In September, I started getting paid twice a week. Twice a week. So I was getting paid $140 in 1 week when it was taking me 30 days to get paid once. So let's say that you're working out, right? Your goal is to go to the gym every day. So what happens? You go to the gym every day and you're very passionate for how long? I don't know. Some people are passionate for 1 day. Some people for 1 month. But usually that passion is more intense during the beginning stages, right? And it starts going down a little bit. But look at how I started getting paid. I was very passionate about Atomy. I knew that this was something that I had to do, that I needed to do. But I wasn't making that much money. It took me 30 days. But as time went by, I started making more. So it wasn't about the intensity. It wasn't about the lack of passion or anything like that. But this is a legit system where you are getting consumers, and as those consumers come, what happens is you start getting residual income. Let's look at this. This graph is here, okay? So let's say that you're selling 10 items every single month, okay? You're selling 10 items a month. That means that you are making X amount of money for the product being sold. Well, if this is the case, your pay should be linear like this, right? So let's talk about consumers. You let 10 people know and they bought a product each, okay? But in Atomy, it goes like this. Even though you're only telling 10 people each month, the amount of money that you're getting paid starts to go up. Why is this so? Because here, only 10 people are buying, but here, now 20 people are buying, but here, now 30 people are buying, and so on and so forth. This is what I call residual income in this kind of business, right? People want to know, why do you call it residual income? Because people who buy it once continue to buy it and let other people know about it. Why? Because it was cheaper than what they were previously using and higher in quality. So you have repeat customers going over and over and over. Now, that started happening, and then what happened? I got my first mastership bonus in November. In 2013, on November the 7th, I got $442, right? So why is this significant? This is this graph. Like I showed you in the auto sales master graph, once you become an auto sales master, that means that it's going to continue to grow. So if you're making $2,000 a month, then that means that there's somebody else who's working with you making $1,000 or $500. So what are they going to do? They're going to continue to let people know about this business. Why are they going to continue to let people know about this business? Because A, as a consumer, they're not losing any money. B, as a business, they're gaining money simply by marketing the products for Atomy. I want to tell you guys, this isn't the only thing. Atomy has one more thing that offers you the ability to succeed. Now, what does that mean? Everybody has to learn a system, right? You're not just born one day understanding how to do this. But Atomy provides you with one-day seminars, 6 academies, online videos to train you, to help you. And the videos online are all free. You don't have to pay anything to start understanding the business. So you can do this part-time. You can do this on your own time. And this is something that is very encouraging for a lot of people who will not be able to do this as a full-time job, but want to do this as a part-time job. Well, you can go online and get free educational materials. Unlike a lot of companies where you have to buy CDs and you have to buy books and things of that nature, Atomy doesn't do any of that. They want you to succeed, and they're trying their best to help you to get to that point. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys today, okay? I wanted to encourage you guys to let you know that, yeah, it's not easy, but yes, it's 100% doable. For who? For anybody. For people like me who didn't have individuals to contact, or people like me who couldn't speak the language 100% over there. But I was able to grow, and I was able to do everything that everybody else can do. Nothing spectacular, nothing special. So you can do it as well. Just go home, look up Atomy, look at more VODs that are online, research the products, try the products, and see if this is the right thing for you. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this was helpful. Thank you. Bye-bye.